Good day, everyone. Welcome back, you brave hearts. Oh, I know that you're becoming brave hearts. You're finding your roar and so much more. And you know what? I'm going to keep on talking about it. You know what? Until you learn to mind your own business, okay, everybody's going to own a piece of you. And that's the deal, okay? So today we're going to be talking to Peter Webb, and I want everybody to understand something. Very humble, beautiful human being. And the reality is that he's one of the top radionic specialists in the world. I mean, think about it, okay? I went on there and I did a one-a-day just about an hour ago. And I was talking about life and people and emotions and frequencies and light, you know, the things that I do. And then I talk about things like the Life Crystal products, okay? Whether it's a bodyguard or a protector or something you can put in your school to protect you against 5G, EMF, and things of that nature. And you know what? I didn't ever mention, and understand, I was raised in a Christian family, okay? And I truly believe in what Jesus stood for. So anyways, I say this. I go, today I'm going to have Peter Webb on, and he was able to actually take a lake in India where the fish weren't even growing anymore or alive. There wasn't enough oxygen or there wasn't enough food there because it was so toxic. And he was able from his home in Ontario, Canada, to actually use radionic frequencies to actually bring that lake back alive in India. So you know what? This is reality. He didn't go there. He did it. That's science. Whether you like it or not, as Einstein said, E equals mc squared, which means that what? Energy creates mass. And understand, the most powerful part of this planet is invisible. The physical is created by the invisible. So what do I say? I go, join me to the show, and we'll show you how the bodyguard can protect your body. And actually, it's got frequencies in it to actually help to harmonize the 5G, the Wi-Fi, the cell phones, the negative frequencies, and how we have things for your house and things of that nature. And then this lady says, and I'm not trying to put her down, I was just like this. My father was a part-time pasture carpenter, okay? And when somebody would bring up about being a spirit being, when somebody would talk about energies like frequencies, okay, he would think it was voodoo. And I can remember when I used to talk about this 25 years ago. I'm not making this up. And people would say, he's got the devil in him. Okay? And understand something. This lady says to me, I never mentioned Jesus. And she said to me, Dr. Wolfe, Jesus is the only healer. And crystals are BS. Understand something. You don't know what you don't know. God love her. And I said to her, you're right. Jesus is the healer. But I didn't say he wasn't. I said that we can use crystals because everything gives off energy. Human beings give off energy. A fish gives off energy. A rock, actually, you can test a rock and it has energy coming off of it. So understand, if you can't be open-minded enough to understand that light and frequencies is what it's all about, because understand this, your eyes don't see, your brain sees. Did you know that? Did you know that your brain picks up light and it picks up frequencies and that goes to your brain and your brain makes images and then you think it's your eyes seeing? And that's why I was wearing my glasses, because I will wear my glasses as much as I can because we are working on a new masterclass called clapping masterclass. Even though you can go and you can take a look at all the clapping videos I did showing the whole body, we're doing a series where if you have a joint problem, a muscle problem, I'm going to show you how to use a shot glass. I'm going to show you how to use a clapper, and I'm going to show you how to become the most powerful therapist at renewing your muscles and your joints in the body, getting rid of tinnitus, getting rid of a sore throat, helping a thyroid problem, helping a tumor, a fibroid. Yeah, you heard what I said. Helping to move your lymph. So everything is about energy, guys. Everything in this world is about energy. So we are energy beings until we get infused into our mother's womb. That's all we are. We're spirit beings. And then as we become physical beings, we allow the most powerful part of us, being our spirit energy, to be forgotten. And the reality is this. And you can believe this or not. But even medical health gets in between the physical body and the spirit. They block you from your spirit. Medical health doesn't look at us as being energy medicine, but guess what? All of their devices are actually testing our energy and our spirit energy in our body to see if we're healthy or not. So there's an oxymoron, okay? So understand, with no disrespect to this lady, without an open mind, without an open heart, good luck getting through this next 2 to 3 years without knowing that you don't know everything, and that if you're not willing to grow on a conscious level, on a super conscious level, which super conscious is why Jesus fasted. So understand, you are an electromagnetic energy being, and that's all we're going to talk about today. All right? So how about this one? How many of you know out there that you are 1 quadrillion atoms? 1 quadrillion atoms makes a physical body. So atoms come to make a cell. Cells come to make tissue. Tissue comes to make organs come to make systems. But it all started off with the invisible, E = mc squared. So you didn't know this, I bet, did you? So how about this for science? Okay, so let's get this perfectly straight. If I were to empty out all the space out of every atom, out of every human being, we would fit into 1 sugar cube. In every atom, there's a tornado. That tornado is the energy source. And understand something, your beliefs will actually cut your energy source down. Hey, listen, people that are depressed, do they have energy? People that are sad, people that are mad. Mad people have energy, but then they get so mad that then they end up in bed sick, don't they? You cannot have negative frequencies, whether you're creating them yourself or someone else is creating them through blue light or 5G or the cell phone radiation, okay? Or the Wi-Fi, or the smart meters, and not think that you're not going to become disturbed. So if you think that you don't want to understand the invisible, which is the greatest part of creating the physical, then we've got a big problem. I want to welcome Peter Webb. Peter Webb is a master with all things nature and has a profound connection with frequencies. He is here today to tell us about how we can protect ourselves from harmful frequencies and how to generate positive ones. And understand something. This is what I'm about. If you don't learn how to master your mind, and if you don't understand that your mind is made up of everyone else and everything else until you decide to take personal action and retrain your own brain. And understand, whether you want to believe it or not, we've all been programmed. If we weren't programmed and we did have that spirit being energy, then why would we eat, drink, and think things that are toxic? And why would we believe in things that just because authority tells us exists, but they've never even seen it and it doesn't exist? And then why would we change our whole lives for something that they've never found and then actually get some therapy that starts with V that's not even for the problem that doesn't exist? You know what? We're all psycho crazy. That's what I think. What do you think, Peter?
Well, yeah, I guess with this lockdown, we're all getting a little
I betcha.
bent out of shape. Anyway, no. Now, going forward, all my life, I've realized that everything is equal. Like the tiniest microorganism in the soil is just as important as the bacteria, the human being, the animal, the tree. So if one of them is out of balance, then the whole system goes out of balance. The next dominating bacteria would take over. So the reason I'm saying this right now is because I'm going to, as we follow through, everything in our body depends on a healthy biome. And what I'm talking about, the bacterias, enzymes, everything within our body that heals and repairs and maintain our health. A year ago when I first did the show, I talked about radiation coming from the atmosphere, from the universe. Well, it's now becoming quite powerful, and it too is affecting people, their mental ability. So what I had to do is create an energy to put around everything, from this tiniest microorganism in the soil or a body to everything else on the planet. And what I came up with was an amber light. Now, amber is a special, it derived from the sap of a tree, and it gives off a golden light.
Peter, can I show you something? Everybody, take a look. This is it. This is the amber, right? From the tree, the sap. Yeah. And this is hundreds of thousands of years old. It can be that old, eh, Peter?
That's correct, yeah.
Even millions of years old. And it is hard as hard. And I wear this all the time. Anyways, go ahead, Peter.
So the amber light is broadcast. It creates this energy in our bodies and radiate all around us. And what it's doing is neutralizing these frequencies coming from space, which is well documented now. There are all kinds of scientists
Peter, you're
around
talking
the world.
about, you put the actual radionic frequency of the amber in the crystals, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, because I don't think people understand that. So can I just do something? Is it okay, Peter? And then I'll let you talk.
Yeah.
So that means that everybody, the bodyguard, protector, guardian, we'll go through them, but none of them ever lose energy. They never get weaker, they get stronger. And when something new comes out, Peter can radionically put those frequencies that we need for our health. Like he's taken the frequencies of my top nutritionals and put it into these crystals. So he can put frequencies in it, and it never gets too full. It never runs out, and it cannot be contaminated by the contamination of frequencies around. Correct, Peter?
That's correct, yeah.
And this is a bodyguard, and the bodyguard, I just want to show people because there's a lot of new people on. We've got a lot of people on today. This is the different bodyguards. You can see them if you go to EMF/energy med at shop.docofdetox.com. Those are the bodyguards. And we have them also, believe it or not, for small children, okay, and even for pets, okay? And then we also have right here, this is actually called a protector. This'll tell everyone, first of all, the bodyguard, how much will it protect me in space, like out from my body?
Well, since we put the amber frequencies in, it's going out about 40 feet now. And that's on the sides, over the top, and into the beneath you. So you're like in a big bubble of energy protecting you from the environment around you.
And if I can say something, you know what, everybody, that 40 feet, even though it's a negative energy, even if it gets in, it's being slowed down to the point that it loses its luster, eh, Peter?
That's right. That's right. It is protecting our everything in our body, and we are energy, so we have so much invasion of energies now from electricity, 4G, 3G, 5G, satellites, radar, all kinds of stuff beaming at us that are foreign to the human body or plants or animals. So, what I do, so going back, this amber now is protecting us from even the frequencies coming off the satellites, because more and more satellites are being put into the atmosphere above us. There won't be a square inch of the planet that won't be affected by the satellite radiation, and of course it has in actual fact there are a lot of problems with these man-made frequencies as far as male sperm and female pregnancy and many other things. These are sort of the things that are coming to the front. So what we are doing is giving your body the elements that it needs to protect itself. So going back to the next one you made, we have to remove bad memories. I've had a number of phone calls from people living in the U.S. and elsewhere about energies in their apartment buildings that they don't feel good. And if somebody were, even it could be the contractors building that building, if there's somebody there is angry and there's a disagreement, believe it, those frequencies actually get into the structure and will stay there until they are taken away or neutralized. So that's why we had to put this in, because to protect us from emotions that have been left by other people.
That's right. If I can say something,
yeah.
You know, Peter, guess what, guys? We are walking, talking antennas, aren't we, Peter? So we will take in negative frequencies if we don't understand that negative frequencies bother us. Do you actually check into yourself to see how you're feeling today? Do you even try to bring your vibration up? Do you slightly smile, put your shoulders back, connect to your breath, focus on only what you want and what's going to make you and your family happy? So we are affected. Do you ever walk into a room and you felt like this is not the place for me? Or you did walk into a room and you felt love? Peter?
Well, yeah, that's absolutely true. So going on, we removed, and I had to come up with frequency, remove toxins from the soil, the water, and air. And this is where it became very interesting in that we were, strangely enough, farmers and therapists were calling me about prions. And
what's
and
prions?
Also,
Peter, what
prion is basically a protein that's like a, they're calling them spike proteins now. They're proteins that are disformed and harmful. Well, they are not good. So I had to come up with a frequency again to neutralize those in your body, which
so you're talking about spike proteins that everybody's talking about right now.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah, but it's also, there are these prions, which is another form of protein that's in the food we're buying, because it's coming from, we don't know where the real source is, but it could be man-made frequencies again. Carrying on, we had to, we came up with the frequencies to remove the harmful effects of all viruses and vaccines, because these viruses weren't around until we got it. Well, they've always been around. We've had colds, flu, coronaviruses,
forever, and
that kind of thing. They've been around forever. Every child get a sniffle, which is a virus. So we actually were able to remove those with the pendants or the bodyguard and the guardian and the protector, and also vaccines. So going on, we had to bring in again energy to restore nutrition at the cellular level, and this is where our bodies, we have to keep our cells in our bodies at a very high level of health. And so we found the total amount of trace elements, trace minerals in a chelated form, and we got those frequencies in again. See, our whole mission is the bacteria that keep you healthy. They also need healthy food, basically, and that would be in the form of a frequency like healthy minerals, vitamins, amino acids, and enzymes. And that way, and this is why we wanted to improve the health of microbial life in the soil, and the same as our body, where they produce enzymes and elements that keep the plant healthy, or the animal healthy, or the people healthy.
If I can, can I interject, yeah. Peter? So, yeah. Everybody, just so you understand, your good bacteria okay, they make up 85% of your immune system. When people talk about your immune system being strong, of course, you need your organs to be healthy. You need to do detoxification of organs and look after those organs, look after every part of your body. But a good bacteria, and mainly your large intestine, is where the largest percentage of all your bacteria live. And understand this, that the majority of the population, so whether you want to believe this or not, but 90 to 95% of the population in North America, it's maybe not an exact science, you're supposed to have 85% good bacteria and 15% bad. It's actually the opposite. And if you don't believe me, go get your stool checked. So if you take a look at it too, 86% of the population is now overweight or obese. 92% of the population has an autoimmune disease, not one, but two, maybe three. So the reality is what Peter was saying too, is that your bacteria, they live off of the frequency of the food, the nutrition that you bring in. Does everybody understand something? That everything you eat, everything you ever ate, everything you ever drank, left the body. The whole physical compound. The only thing that was left behind was the frequency and the light energy. And that created the physical body. Now, how crazy is this? Two people come together, they have this image that we'd like to have a child. So energy creates mass. Now we have a person that has a lot of negative emotion in their life. They don't realize that they're running programs that are really toxic, and they could actually create a tumor. So everything starts from the invisible and goes to the physical. Peter, can I just finish this? So these are called protectors, and these are for your homes. Okay, they come in dark purple, red, or they come in kind of a green, aqua, green, blue color. And Peter, do you want to tell them how much space that actually protects? And then we'll talk about the Guardian and the Defender. And all right?
Okay. Well, the protector does 400 feet in all directions around it. So it's to the side and above and below. And I even had a gentleman call me today because these protectors are putting all these frequencies into the environment, like oxygen and hydrogen and helium, all these elements that you need. And of course, you get a lot of homes have damp areas and they get black mold in there. So it's a lack of oxygen. So the higher the oxygen, the less likely you are to have mold. Actually, I have a glass of water here right now. It's just full of bubbles. And it's because of the energy around us is putting oxygen into the water, and it'll consistently stay there. So again, oxygen is important. If you take a little finger meter, clip it on your finger, you'll get a reading of somewhere to 95 to 98% oxygen in your blood. And this way, it really is one of the devices that can defend you against a lot of viruses and bugs that are in the environment. To a certainty, we've seen more pollen this year than we've ever seen. We don't know why, but probably because we've had an extremely dry year. So 400 feet is quite a range. We've as we improve the energies that go into it, we're actually improving the area that these units are emitting these frequencies out to cover a bigger area. So yeah, it gets down into the groundwater, the water in your pipes, water pipes. If you're in a country and you're on a septic system, it reduces or, well, it eliminates the smell coming off the tank. Has a lot of benefits for a healthy environment. And of course, number one, we get so many people talking about their plants, their gardens, how crazy they're growing this year. Beautiful flowers and everything is growing.
Can I show them the Guardian? Can I show them the Guardian? There it is, yeah. Everyone. That's the Guardian for the garden. How big a garden can they have with the Guardian?
That can go out up to 100 acres now. 100 acres, about a kilometer in a square kilometer. So this would be for, but you know, we found the demand for that size unit. People are just wanting to have a healthier yard and a healthier garden, and they're willing to put the bigger unit in to get those benefits. Yes, so that's
And do you mind going over
that's
go over the Defender too, and then we'll get into these
yeah.
things. And if people, if you have questions, you can do them on Facebook or YouTube. Can you let Tara know to start sending them to my phone, please? This phone.
Yep.
Okay, because we will take live questions today, everybody. So there's the Defender. While we're waiting for Tara to, if it's not Tara, get somebody else to get on Facebook right now and monitor Facebook and YouTube. So that's the Defender. Peter, you want to talk about it? What it does?
Yeah, it does. It does. It's primarily designed for large structures like schools, hospitals, office buildings, apartment buildings, and it's because oxygen is blue. It actually raises the oxygen a little higher in those structures where you have a lot of people, and when you have a higher level of oxygen in the building, people's health is improved. So yeah, that's the main. Even we've got them in churches now. People have bought them for churches. So, but apartment buildings, people in them are more happy. They're content.
Hey Peter, will the Defender keep the bylaw people out of the church?
No, unfortunately.
Okay, just wondered. I just wondered.
No, yeah, there is another way of doing that, but we don't talk about it today.
Okay, all right.
One of the things I found, I've been getting calls from dairy farmers out in the eastern part of Quebec, and they asked the question, can we increase the acid within the digestive system of those cows to dissolve the fiber in the diet so that they can utilize their feed more efficiently and there'd be less waste coming out of the animal. So we did this, and it's in everything because we are eating a lot of fiber, and it's important that we have frequencies that help producing an acid that dissolves that fiber so you can utilize it more beneficial and more effectively. And I talked to one farmer this morning in Wisconsin. I said, since we put this in, have anything changed? Yeah, he said, our cows are producing more milk. Well, it's because they're utilizing that food more efficiently. So we, as humans, if we utilize the food that we're putting in our bodies more completely, it actually improves your health because you're not storing all this fiber in your colon. It's actually put into a liquid form and is carried out more efficiently. So that's just one of the more things that we've done as far as healing. But
I've got a question. I got a
Yeah.
question here for you, Peter. Wait. Can you do it, or should Peter do it? Can you do a close up of the Defender? Somebody wants to see what it looks like. What's the best way, me or him?
Yeah.
Well, I've got it right here.
Yeah.
So
That's the Defender.
that's it right here, everyone.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is Dolores wanted to know if she could have a close up. That's it, Dolores. You see how beautiful this thing is? I mean, this is pure crystal. Okay. All right. And let me see what else we got here. My Bodyguard chipped, Peter. Does it still work?
Yes, it'll still remain working. Chips, so dropping it on the floor doesn't affect it. The reason it's still working is because with radionics, we're able to feed the new frequencies, and this is one thing that nobody else is doing right now, is you buy a supplement and then they make changes, or no, you buy anything and they make changes to it. You have to buy a new one, not with the pendants or the bodyguards or the defenders or
the protectors.
We are feeding energy into them 24 hours a day, and any changes that we make is automatically fed into those to give you those benefits as we learn. We're passing it on.
And you know what? And that's the thing. If you've been watching the shows with Peter, and me and Peter for the last 2 years, you're going to understand he comes on with new things because he's a radionic detective. So things are going to change. So you're going to find out that it can do more because guess what? We are infinite beings when we understand light and frequency, and that we can manipulate light and frequency for the benefit of the earth, not for taking the earth down. Okay? If you have a guardian, do you also need to buy the small bodyguard or protector for inside the house, or will it cover? No, for one thing, it's not the guardian. It's the protector that does the house, everyone. And understand, the bodyguard, well, I have it because I'm on the go. I'm not going to be in my house all the time. And when I'm on the go in the car, especially in the car, EMF in the car is terrible, eh, Peter?
That's right, yeah. And I actually had a call last week from a lady wanting to know what to put in her Tesla. And I told her to put in the protector. Put a protector in the car, and it would be perfect.
Okay, and just so everybody knows, the Crystal Life products, until 1 minute to midnight on Monday night, will be 15% off. And I just want everybody to know I would do more, but I can't. These are the highest, purest crystal you can buy, and it between the glass blower, right? It takes a lot of work, doesn't it, Peter, to make these? This is not just a walk in the park making a glass ashtray, okay? And then Peter with his work and all the research he does. So understand that, everyone. We'll always do the best we can for you, okay? Can you also give us the info, okay, where we can order these? Okay, go to store.docofdetox.com, or just go to my website, docofdetox.com, and then click on store at the top. And you'll find them in the EMF / energy med products, okay? With a protector in my home, okay. Will it protect us from Wi-Fi in the home? Okay, Peter?
Yeah, there would be a field about 12 inches or 14 inches from the Wi-Fi, but beyond that, there is no Wi-Fi frequencies that are bothering anyone.
So so the Wi-Fi will go 12 inches from where the Wi-Fi is being shot from.
Yeah.
And understand, it doesn't, okay, we're not out, okay, first of all, nobody can tell you that they can eliminate the frequencies. All they can do is harmonize the energy around the body and in the body. Correct, Peter?
That's correct, yeah.
Yeah, so don't anybody ever tell you that they're neutralizing them, because if they did, you wouldn't have Wi-Fi. Okay.
No.
So there are lots of... Here's just somebody wanted to say, there are lots of pastors getting arrested in Alberta, but this weekend they're having a rodeo. I'd love to go to the rodeo. I love the rodeo. I used to live on a farm. You lived on a farm, didn't you, Peter? Your father was a farmer. Why don't you talk about where farming has gone from there to here? And that's why you got into radionics, didn't you? Because you saw all the animals getting sick. You saw the crops going down because the minerals have been depleted. The microorganisms from the soil's been depleted on purpose, and the soil's been poisoned, right?
That's correct. When I was born during the war, and we had a farm, we had 250 acres, and we farmed it with a 20 horsepower tractor and 2-bottom plow, team of horses and a straight harrows, and we did all the work on that land. And at that point, we had we had dairy, pigs, poultry, turkeys, geese, all kinds of livestock, sheep, and we never bought vitamins and minerals for those animals. It was all in the products that we were growing, the forages and grains. And then after the war, the big bomb-making factories, which were producing the bombs with nitrogen, ammonium nitrate, and they decided, well, we got to find another business for these. So that's when they created fertilizer, and it was only NPK. And at that point, my dad was always a forward thinking. He thought he would be leader, so he got right into this stuff, and we were buying the stuff, fertilizer by boxcar loads, and we were hauling it and spreading it on the fields. And before that, there were no weeds in the fields, none at all, and very little tillage needed. But after we started pouring the chemical fertilizer on, the soil became progressively harder and harder. And then we had to start putting in vitamins and minerals in all the animals' feed, and it went from 10 pounds up to 200 pounds at the end. The soil was so hard that the 20 horsepower tractor had to be set aside for a 150 horsepower tractor to do the same work. The soil technically died. Weeds were a major problem. And of course, then you get into the whole system of spraying and spraying the weeds, and consequently you're killing off the life.
Did you notice a difference within the animals after a few years too? Because they were feeding on it, right?
Oh, yeah. We had no health with the animals at all. It wasn't until we got the feed was becoming imbalanced and the nutrients were devoid. There was less vitamins and minerals and food in those forages that we were growing, or grains. And so again, our vet bill started climbing, and we got into vaccines and antibiotics, and so that was the reason that I got into, because at the time I was farming in Canada, and again, we were doing the same thing. And of course, when we put on the chemicals on the land, then we got the leaf-eating army worms coming in and stripping crops and all kinds of things that we never saw without, when we were organic and using nothing on the farm. So so that's my passion, is to bring back the health of the soil. Then you immediately get the health of the food, and then the health of the people. And it's a snowball effect. I get calls from around a lot of people, and one of the problems is blood pressure and blood consistency. And it happened to me, honest to gosh. I was 120 over 80 for all my life until a few weeks back. I don't know why. It just dropped down to 80 over 50. And my blood was so thin, a scratch, it would keep bleeding. So this was bothering me. So I got up at 3 o'clock in the morning and went into the lab, and I stayed in there until 6 o'clock. And I came up with frequencies to normalize blood pressure and blood sugar, blood consistency. And I walked back in the house and put the blood pressure thing on my arm, and I was 115 over 80, that quick. That's how quick frequencies can correct imbalances in your body.
Now, that's in everybody's crystal that ever bought a crystal from you. So
that's right.
It's an automatic change. The whole world gets them, and we send them everywhere around the world, don't we, Peter?
That's correct. Yeah. I have actually had a lady from somewhere in Europe called about bleeding for 4 weeks, and you sent her a pendant and a bodyguard and a home protector.
Yeah.
And she said as soon as they were put in, it stopped.
Yeah. And you know what? You can think it's voodoo, everyone, and that just shows that we're not growing. We're not growing consciously. You know what? The only growth on this planet that matters is conscious growth. So try to wrap your head around it. Try to stay connected to your breath and don't have a fart attack, because understand the invisible creates the physical, for the good or the bad, depending on the frequency. Like blue light, all this blue light here. Every time my eyes start to go a little bit wonky, I put these on, because understand blue light will destroy your brain, and it causes all the eye disorders that we have today. So between blue light and all these problems, and understand something, even the blue light, wearing the bodyguard and putting this in your house, it affects all your cells right down to a mitochondria level, and it helps against the blue light. We still need to wear Tesla glasses, guys, because you can't wear blue blockers because you're not trying to block something. You're trying to change the negative into a positive. That's what we do. Do crystals lose their charge over time? Do we still need to buy a shield for digital utility meters if we have the crystals?
No, the crystals actually retain their full energy from the day you purchase them till they carry on forever, because like I said, you see, everything is connected. So what I do, when the pendant is made, we energize it, then we connect it out. So wherever it goes, it's then connected back to the base. Now, the base station is our office, and of course, it's being changed. What we do, a lot of the stuff we've used is in frequencies, but now we're to bring in more nutrients. We're able to put in raw phytoplankton to metabolize bone development. So that product goes in one of the machines, and that's broadcasting. We've got about 14 machines now broadcasting frequencies to that pendant. We're putting pumpkin seed oil as a source of oleic and linoleic acid, and also omega-6 fatty acids. And we've got milk thistle oil to detox the liver.
Peter, if I send you, I'm working on a new product called Black Diamond Crystals. This would be like the diamond of humic fulvic. And if I send you my new C60 oil, and I send you my infinite iodine, do you have those in there yet?
Not. I don't think the iodine is in now, because I think it came out, but it is definitely one that's critical for the thyroid and other function.
I'll send you these three so that you can get these three topped up in there. And I have a lady on here saying, Peter, what would do this? After about 10 days of wearing the bodyguard, my skin cleared up for the first time in about 20 years. Peter?
Well, number one, it's increasing blood circulation to the extremities of the body. It's the blood circulation is what carries the nutrients in and waste away. So as well as it's the elements that we're putting in, all these different like curcumin oil and flaxseed oil, which are prebiotic, probiotic, and digestive enzymes. These are fundamental that you need in your body. So it's actually rejuvenating now. Just out of the last 2 days, I put in a product strictly to build a mitochondria in your body. It was very expensive product, but it's necessary. We also put in another one to enhance stem cells in our body. So what my mission is, as a nutritionist, I am a bona fide animal nutritionist, but people are closely related to that than they think. So
the only difference is we walk on 2 legs. That's about it.
Yeah, nutrition is one things that I understand that is critical to health, blood circulation. Every function in our body there is nutrients that are carried, and also the other thing I just put in yesterday. It's a new product I acquired for tinnitus. I don't know. It's not something you can put in and bingo, it disappears. You have to again repair the brain to get rid of this constant whistling and humming.
Yeah, there's a nerve that goes from your inner ear. It's very fine wire. It's like a very fine wire from your inner ear to your brain. That becomes inflamed, and that's what drives everybody nuts. But the inflammation can come down, and you're right. It won't go away right away unless it's a scar tissue problem or crystallization. Most of it's a long-term inflammation from an inflammatory mind, okay, and an inflammatory diet. Peter, I've got another question here. You ready?
Yep.
Okay, this is a different one. Peter, when you decide to leave this planet, who will be taking over for you?
Well, we've got people that are already willing. I've got quite a few people that want to come in and learn the methods that we do, and we just put in an element a few days ago that's supposed to increase your life expectancy by another 9 to 10 years. You see, this is what I understand.
So you should be around for about another 30, right?
Yeah. So, technically the human body, we're told it's going to slow down and deteriorate and we get old. But in reality, we can regenerate all the cells in our body to healthy cells.
Heck yeah.
And I had a guy walk in today and he said, "What do you think?" He said, "Boy," he said, "I'm getting younger every day. I look younger, I feel younger." Well, that's me too. It's the way we do it. No, you got, again, never think about getting old. You got to stay young and stay healthy and stay focused. And this is why.
Mind your business, Peter? Gotta mind your business. It's okay to love and care for yourself 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, that's so we will have somebody carry on, and but at this point in time, I don't see I could have said, well, okay, I'm going to sit on the front porch for the next 10 years and retire and enjoy the sunsets. Hell no. I'm here. I'm going to keep working, and the more I work, the happier I am, and the more we succeed. And my mission is to help everybody to have a better life, and that's really all I can do.
Peter,
the rest is left up to them.
Peter, from Karen Bucksbaum, do I need to get them all to have everything that will work for me? Thanks. So otherwise, a bodyguard and a protector for your house is pretty smart, right, Peter? If you're on the go out of your home.
That's right. Yeah.
And then a protector. If you've got a garden, then you want to get a guardian. But I think you have to. Oh, and if you're a pastor in a church, you might want to get a defender, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's you don't need one each color of the bodyguard, because everything is programmed the same. We are feeding energies in constantly, very consistently, and it's fascinating. We have a guy that has had one of the guardians, and he wanted to energize some sand to put on his, give his neighbor to grow crops. Well, it was silica sand anyway. I said, well, check it out. It's sitting on your property. It's already energized. All you got to do is give it to him, and it'll work on the soil. So everything on your property becomes energized by the guardian or the protector, or whatever you're doing, the bodyguard. But we've had even Uber drivers that put the protector in their cab, and they found right away from the start people are giving them bigger tips because they felt more comfortable and at ease in that car.
Do you get a commission from that?
No, not at all.
I'm kidding, buddy. Okay.
I know.
Oh, no, you didn't. You were probably thinking about it. Okay. Do crystals lose the charge over time? I know you kind of answered it, but this person must be new. And will EMR level fall down on my EMF meter? No, it won't, because it doesn't work that way. Because you're not killing the negative frequencies. You're harmonizing the positive frequencies with your body. So, Peter, can you explain it better?
No, you've covered it. It actually take those harmful frequencies and harmonize them with your body. They can still be measured by the meter, and we've run into this with people. I gave a guy yesterday a demonstration of the smart meter. I have a meter that measures radio frequency, And it used to be 15 feet away from the meter. Now it's about 12 inches away from the meter. So it's just within that area. Because you'd be surprised how many people have a meter, a panel, electrical panel in the basement and a bed beside it. It's crazy.
Or an air conditioner, or anything that generates a lot of electricity. You know what? I'm going to tell you a story, okay? So anyway, so this gentleman calls me up, and he says, my daughter, okay, she really hurt herself and hit her eye, so she was really swollen. And so I told him what to do, okay? And then he calls me back a few weeks later and says, now she smashed her head and cut her head in the crib. And I'm going, okay, hold on a second here. This is not right. So somewhere there's got to be negative energy. And guess what? The smart meter was right outside the wall of her bedroom, okay? So he went, and what he did is he put an actual small pendant around her ankle. You know, the small one that you can put for children, but because it's just a baby, around her ankle. Peter, I'm not kidding. It was over. It's done. It's done. But he also went and he told them on the other side of the lake that he didn't want them to have the smart meter turned on. And they said, yes, it'll cost you $18 extra a month if we come out and check it. So I tried to do the same thing on the other side of the lake, but a different company, the government owns the electrical on this side. You know what they told me? There'll be no way. And I said, well, I'll take you to court. Good luck. Other people have. You're going to lose. So on the other side of the lake, you can pay $18 a month to have them come out and check it. But here, it already sends it, and they won't do it. And that's government owned on this side. Anyways, true story. Would I feel, this is from Charity, would I feel the radionics coming into my bodyguard? I felt a vibration in the bodyguard a few weeks ago. Is this me or is this true?
Actually, we've had a number of people say that the bodyguard would dance. At times it would dance on their bodies. So it just, intuitively, I think it's trying to rectify something going on in the body and to bring it back, everything back into harmony and health. These things, well, I hate to say it, but there is a lot of technology we have in here that will automatically correct problems before they be a major health problem. So, you know, but they will. Let's vibrate once in a while. It's very seldom, but we have had the odd ones that are doing that, particularly people that are having cancer and you know, but
autoimmune diseases.
The autoimmune diseases, and it seems to have a profound effect on helping with the healing or whatever has to be done.
Charlene, does it matter what color it is, or do they all work the same, Peter?
They all work the same. The reason, you know, we have the colors primarily is if you're a lady and you go to the wardrobe and you pick out a pink dress one day, that's because that color is what your body needs. You got to bear in mind every vitamin and mineral has a color attached to it. So if you've got a deficiency in one of those minerals, you pick the clothes that will help to keep you feel better, of course.
Yeah, because we got to remember something, that everything that we eat and drink leaves the body, and the only thing that stays behind is the frequency. And if I'm not right, what happens when you have a few beer? The frequency gives you a hangover. The frequency makes you feel lousy. Okay, you go up high and then you come down and crash. Alcohol, drugs, everything has a frequency. Okay, okay, here we go. I am so confused. He has stated the guardian can be kept in the home and help there as well. So can the guardian, she wants to know, does the guardian help the home or just help the garden?
No, it helps. It does a bigger area. But here again,
No, but she's
everything.
talking. I think she's
Yeah,
talking about humans and pets
yeah.
and what does and Wi-Fi, or is it working mainly on the garden and the wildlife, or what?
No, actually, if they understand what I'm trying to say now, that all life, whether it's in the soil or in our bodies or in the plants, have the same demand and the same needs. So um, plants and animals, and they respond to that energy. And for us, we have so many animals around here now. It's like a zoo, and these are raccoons and skunks and porcupines, you name it. They all come in to visit rabbits, and so it creates an environment in the home and the garden that is going to promote growth. Now, here is a crazy one that I have a marijuana grower up in Montreal that clipped the tops. They trimmed the marijuana plants, and they stuck those pieces they cut off in water. And just being in the water, they're growing just as fast as the ones in the flower pots. And that again proves a point that if you got all the frequencies of vitamins and minerals and amino acids in that water, those plants don't need roots. They just take the water up and keep growing.
What about the marijuana grower? Remember, he had all the mold on his plants. He was going to throw them out. Why don't you tell him that story?
Well, that was again what we did the work on. The mold is basically a genetic trait of the seed that these people use. So me and another grower, well, I'm not a grower, I just supply him with the Guardian, and he does the work. And what we did was through we got seed that was from it came from the Kush Valley in Pakistan, and we bred that into it, and we actually found that we could breed the mold, mildew and mold out of the plant. So it is a genetic trait. So that goes back to the seed that they're growing. But again, it's dampness that creates mold to form. So the one that I work with, he has absolutely no mold or mildew problems, period, now. So that's all I can say on that.
Okay, I have Jessica here. She says I put the protector in my car and tested it with a safe and sound meter, and it did not show a difference. Here's the thing that we were trying to tell you is it okay? In my bedroom, I have a device that actually will neutralize EMF, will neutralize things. I can't even go on my phone in my bedroom, which is what I want, because it really blocks it. But that's not what these crystals do. They don't. You're not going to see. Most of the time, you're not going to see a change, are you, Peter? Because they're not working on that frequency. They're not working on that level.
Well, if you neutralized all those frequencies, the car wouldn't run anyway.
Yeah, and we're not trying to do that because it wouldn't run. What we're trying to do is make sure that the negative frequencies have no negative effect on the organism. That's it. Isn't that right?
Am
I right or wrong?
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay.
The only person that we're protecting is the driver or the passengers in that car.
I got one for you. Go to somebody that does blood testing and go put on the bodyguard and wear it for a few minutes, and then go get your blood tested again. That'll show you, because we want to see what's happening on the human body, not what's happening around us, what's happening inside, because we know that there should be a response. Here, I received my Defender and it is amazing. When I looked at it from the point on, it looks like the universe. Love my personal pendant to the bodyguard, hoping to benefit wildlife in the area. What have you seen with the Guardian with wildlife?
Well, certainly it could be. I went out in the yard this morning and was walking, and great big skunk confronted me in the middle of the lawn. So yeah, we have in the wintertime we'll have 75 turkeys around the yard, and we have deer, about a dozen deer come into the yard, and these, Nancy was out in the garden the other day, and there was a dove on the ground, and she was talking to the dove, and it wasn't scared. Like they know it's a safe place, so they come, and we've learned to live with them, and especially the birds. So we have so many little birds, canaries and goldfinches, grosbeaks, chickadees, blue jays. We've got a huge array of birds. We have a feeder. And
Peter, do you want some gophers? I've got 7 gophers to give you if you want.
Yeah, no. No. We've got a groundhog. It's about what do you call a super gopher. They're bigger.
Yeah, he's 7 times the size. The Defender and the Guardian are the same price. Maybe I came late, but do they do the same thing? Do you mind just touching on it?
Well, the Guardian is green, and it is to stimulate the chlorophyll in plants. Chlorophyll is the closest thing to human blood you'll find. And so that's what they are, to stimulate the chlorophyll in the grass, the plants, and the trees, and everything. The Defender is definitely to increase the oxygen in that area. One of the things we've always had an immense amount of frogs in our pond behind the house, and they croak and drive people crazy at night. And this year they didn't turn up. And again, I found out that there was elements that were in the atmosphere coming probably from chemtrailing, but the frogs hadn't came. So we put in the frequencies to counter that. And within about 5 days, the frogs turned up, and they've been squawking and squeaking all night long again. So, nature can tell you a lot. If you have a pond and there are no frogs in it, then you have to do something to bring the environment that's conducive for them to come in and live there. And this is, we have a pond, and it's amazing how many animals just come to drink out of the pond. We've had a terrible drought for the last 6 weeks, and they're just searching for water, the birds and the animals. So
beautiful.
Anyway.
So, first of all, somebody says, I would love to buy the bracelet. You have to understand something. This amber, which is a sap that's millions of years old, okay? And this here, you don't buy this. This I was given to as a gift. This actually came from Poland. Poland has some of the best amber in the world. Used to be really cheap. Now it's expensive like diamonds. And because, when people get to know something, right? But the amber frequency is actually in all of the Crystal Life products, okay? So you're not buying the bracelet, okay? Well, you can, but you have to go to someone else to buy an amber bracelet, love. And here it is, items. I'm confused. Which ones does what? Peter, do you just mind just going through it again? Okay, do you want me to? Okay, here. Here's the bodyguards. You can wear them around your neck, around your ankle, or you could just put them around your baby's crib, on a baby's crib. Remember, it does a large area. Can you say what's the area again? 40 feet, right? 40 feet up and down and back and forth.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we've got the same thing, and believe it or not, the little pennants you can use on your animals or on your smaller children, they do the 40 feet from the head up, from the feet down, from the body out. So it's actually 80 feet if you were to look at both sides. And then there's the protector, which comes in like a turquoise green, all right, and also comes in a purple, and that's the protector. And that'll do, how big is that? 400?
That's 200 feet out.
Yeah, 200 feet out. So each way, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
And then we have that comes in red, purple, and turquoise, and then we have the actual This is the actual
Defender.
Yeah. And that was for churches, factories, schools, larger buildings, right? And how big is
That's
that?
correct.
How big is that for?
Well, it would do any big building up to, you know, a hospital or a factory, even a car plant. It would do that kind of area. So, in reality, it'll do up to 100 acres.
Okay. And then you've got the Guardian. Okay. That's the Guardian. And of course, it's kind of a beautiful green. Okay. And how big of the garden?
Well, they do 100 acres too. And we've got a lot of dairy farmers in Quebec that are buying them now and just putting them in their milking parlors. For when the cows come in to be milked, they're relaxed and calm. They milk quicker, produce more milk. So, but you know, if it's benefiting the cows, it's going to benefit poultry or pigs or sheep or people. People, you know, if you could put those in an office building, the defenders, there'd be a lot more people would be a lot more productive. And
I got one for you, Peter. Sorry, don't mean to cut you off, but this is a good question. We've never been asked this in 2 years. Okay, can I send you my personal crystals for you to charge up? So not the ones, not the Crystal Life products, but she has crystals. She wants to know if she can pay you to tune them up.
Well, it's difficult to say that because they would. I guess if they were sent in, we could attach them to the system, but that would be, you know, it's easier to buy one of yours or our ones we're producing and put that in, and it would automatically energize all those crystals.
Beautiful, Peter. This is from Aja. When you add new substances, elements like iodine, does that transfer to our units we own already? Absolutely. Hey, Peter? Listen, everybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, these units don't wear out, okay? But when you drop them, if you crack them or break them, they're still good. They just don't look pretty, and you might not be able to put your chain on if you drop it. Remember, crystal's crystal, everyone. You don't drop it. You can't drop it on like cement, right, Peter?
That's right. They don't bounce.
Okay. So everybody, just know this. You're always getting charged. Everybody's getting everything that's ever going to come out. If something else comes out, like a different virus or some type of different mold or bacteria or something else is going on, there's a different radio frequency, you're going to have it. Just know that you're going to be blessed with it. You don't have to ask for it. It's automatically done. Eh, Peter?
That's right. Yep. Yep.
My friend has tinnitus. What do you recommend? Again, please go to our library. Go to docofdetox.com. Everybody, just so you know, I'm putting these on and off because this blue light, there's a lot of blue light, eh? And we do a lot. We're doing a major shoot for a master class right now. And if I don't wear these, my brain gets burnt and my eyes. You know what? I'm going to tell you something, and this is the God's truth. You know, when I was younger, I got glasses. And then I wore glasses all the way through my teens, almost till I was 20. Then I just refused to wear them. I couldn't stand them. But then I was using reading glasses until I was 40. And I don't need glasses for nothing. Have you ever seen me wear glasses?
No.
I don't need them for
Except
small
for the
print,
Teslas.
anything. Well, Teslas, yeah, because, guys, I just want you to know this. Don't mean to steal the show, Peter. But Teslas...
It's okay.
Teslas are the only glasses in the world that have fluorine lenses. So they actually take the EMF, they take the blue light, and they actually change it into healing light for your eyes and your brain. And if you don't believe me, your headaches will go away, your tenseness will go away, and anybody that works on a computer without Tesla eyewear, good luck. You're destroying your whole nervous system. Anybody that watches TV, anybody that goes on phone, why do you think that right now, did you know, Peter, that right now in China, 10,000 teenagers from the age of 18 to 25 every day minimum are being diagnosed with cataracts, glaucoma, stigmatism, detached retina. I can keep going. And all of this is blue light poisoning. They look at their phones more than anybody else around the world. Okay? That's what you do when you live in a communist country. And here's hoping we don't go there, right, Peter?
We don't want to go there.
No. Let me see if we got anything else here for you, Peter. Oh my God, my son has had tinnitus for years. It's very debilitating. Yeah, But understand, go to my website and then go click on library at the top. Go into the library, click the do-it-yourself guide, and I'm going to tell you something. You can reverse tinnitus. You got to be patient, and if you're not patient, you'll remain a patient for the rest of your life. So understand, we have had our power taken away, and if you want to get your power back, then you're going to have to love yourself and care for yourself, because if you think it's going to come in the form of a treatment or a drug, good luck with that, okay? Or if you, what are you going to do? Cut your ear off? I mean, God, if it doesn't work, let's cut it off, right? Let me see what we got. I have the Bodyguard and the Home Protector. I don't know if they are working, but I am glad I have them. Will you and when will you be making changes to the crystals? The reason I'm asking is that I don't want to buy something. Oh boy, see, people aren't getting this. I don't want to buy something that's going to be okay. I don't want to buy something that is not going to be efficient as the new ones. There's no such thing as a new crystal. Everybody needs to get this. You are getting exactly what everybody's getting. The price goes up, doesn't matter. Well, it hasn't gone up. But I'm just saying, the crystal you bought 2 years ago from Peter, the crystal you buy today is exactly getting the same thing. All right? Peter, am I right or wrong?
You're very right, yeah, because like I said, we're constantly feeding all the new energies into the crystals. It's this crystal it's coming out of Poland right now because it's very difficult to find good crystal anymore.
Well, like everything else.
Yeah.
Ryan, I have the Bodyguard and the Home Protector. I don't know if they are working, but I already did that one. Will you? Okay, got that one. Sorry, everybody, it jumps with. Does he have a website? No, Peter doesn't have a website, but we have all the information on our website. Gave my daughter a pendant, and she called to ask what it did because she had 3 BMs, bowel movements that day, which was not normal. Can you explain, Peter, because you're the bowel movement king? She didn't say that part. I just thought I'd throw that in. Okay.
Well, yeah. No, it actually helps to remove the waste from the body. And if you and this is what
Harmony.
I was talking about.
Harmony, right, buddy? Harmony.
Yeah.
Lighten that
breaking
load.
down. Yeah. Breaking down the fiber, it becomes like slippery and slimy, and it comes out quicker than, if it's been stored for 3 or 4 days. So no, your colon with the pendant should evacuate once a day completely. Okay.
Peter, between all the platforms we have right now, you are like over 300 people watching at once. That's really good. So people are getting it. People are understand that that we are light energy electromagnetic beings, and that we have to take charge of that. And if we don't, then our physical matter is going to become corrupted, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see, if you're full of, I won't use the term, but it begins with S, it does fog the brain
over.
You're full of sugar. It fogs the brain up after a period of time. So you want to get that stuff out of your body at a regular time, and just feel lighter. I mean, you got to feel lighter.
Gut-brain connection.
Yeah.
Whether you believe it or not, everyone, your large intestine is your second brain, but it actually should be your first brain, because your brain only talks to the bacteria one time, where for every one time the brain talks to the bacteria actually talk to the brain 9 times. And whether you believe it or not, the mentality and your healing ability is exactly dependent on the health of your bacteria. End of story. We are walking globs of bacteria. You got 50 trillion cells. You got 500 trillion bacteria. So go ahead. Why don't you just try to kill every virus? Why don't you go ahead and try to kill every bacteria in your body, and you won't exist. And the day that we no longer have viruses in our body, human beings will not exist on this planet. Get it? If you don't get that, you don't get anything. You know, all of a sudden, just a year and a half ago, we have these intelligent scientists like Mr. F, okay? And I think his name should start with F. And the reality is, he's telling everybody that viruses are now our enemy, but without viruses, we do not build up our immune system the same as without bacteria. And between what you think, what you drink, what you eat, and how you live will decide on the health of these things. Peter?
That's true. And, you know, right now, under the circumstances we have, is people are sanitizing their hands, their children's hands, they're sanitizing and sanitizing. And, you know, we need those bacteria to tweak and keep the immune system healthy.
Well, how crazy is this, everyone? So we know that the world's going to end because of a virus nobody has been able to isolate or find yet. But then we're going to go and use bacterial soap to wash and destroy all the bacteria everywhere we possibly can. And understand, that is your immune system. And if you are not being attacked on some level by a virus or a bacteria, where is the challenge for your immune system to grow stronger? You know what? I'm going to tell you something. A little bit of stress, okay? A little bit of stress keeps life exciting. All right? A little bit of stress on your immune system keeps it stronger. But when you have inflamed emotions, thoughts, programs going on, which we do, you don't realize you're programmed. I mean, I know when I talk to a person that actually has found themselves, which is not very many people. There's a lot of beautiful people in the world, but most people are doing everything and being everyone. The day that you mind your own business, right? And you start living your passion and your dreams, and you know it's not being selfish, that's the day that you really discover who your authentic self is. Peter, you ready for another question? What do you think of Qi technology compared to the crystals for EMF protection? I used to sell it. So this is just my personal opinion. I think the product's great, but it's not like this, because you can't change that technology. When you get that technology, it's geared to do what it does. Peter, he creates and reformulates and regenerates and keeps it. The world's always changing. That technology is not changing. Once you buy that technology, you're stuck with it. But you're not stuck with this. You don't have to buy a new one because it's being renewed for everything that's going on in the planet. What do you think, Peter?
That's right. And you know, we're constantly looking at new things coming along, like viruses, and even one of the things I've been looking at. I know there's people now wanting to genetically modify mosquitoes, and they're putting their money into it to vaccinate people with mosquitoes. Well, right now, mosquitoes are carrying Lyme's disease. It was Zika and all different kinds of diseases. You know, if you go to Africa, you have to have all these vaccines to go to Africa.
Well, you don't. They tell you do, but if you refuse them, you can still go. See, the reality is, Peter, I just want to say this, not to cut you off, but everybody, when somebody tells you to do something and you don't want to, you don't have to. Nobody's allowed to inject you. Nobody's allowed to give you a poison. Nobody's to tell you how to eat, how to think, how to drink, and how to be. If you are not harming another human being, you just shut them down fast. Go ahead, Peter.
So West Nile was the disease, but I noticed there's more about mosquitoes this year, and I thought, well, if somebody's got a virus, they can pick it up and pass it on down the line. So we've put in these frequencies to protect the body, to protect ourselves from the mosquitoes that could be transmitting another virus around the world. So we never stop looking ahead, and when we start hearing a situation coming along, like the SARS, I mean, we were ready to tackle that head on. when SARS came in. So everything is the same. We just have to not listen to the fear, but look at the positive as to what can be done to
Mind
help
your own
everyone.
business. Mind your own business,
Yep.
everyone. If you're watching the news on a daily basis, I wouldn't want to be with you. I would just say hello and I'd move away quickly. Because you know what? You're not getting the reality of what life is about. Okay? So if you're listening to people who listen to the news, same thing. You've got to create a harmonic, beautiful life for yourself and your family. You want to be the blessing, not the curse. Okay, is there anything, this is from Anita, is there anything that can help sensitivity to vibrations from condensers in AC, air conditioner, and refrigerators? I live in the south, oh boy, this is long, south, and can't sleep in the summer because of vibrations, even coming from the neighbor's AC. It's too hot and the AC on at night. I had shingles a couple of years ago, and sensitivity to vibrations has gotten a lot worse. If you don't mind, Peter, I'd like to answer this.
Yeah.
They shouldn't be getting worse if you're reducing your toxicity and your inflammation. When we've got inflammation, we got nerve degeneration. And understand, every disease in the human body is a neurological one. And if you can't control your emotions, and if you have fear and anxiety, then you're dumping adrenaline and cortisol in. You're creating tons of inflammation. The crystals can only do so much. If you're pouring gasoline on the fire continually, then that's it. We have to be in control and in charge of our mind, or it becomes a bloody landmine. And that is most people. Take a look at the way you act. Look at how your day is. What do you think about? How much happiness do you have? Do you walk around with a slight smile on your face? You don't need anybody to tell a joke or tell anybody you're beautiful, because you just do it naturally, because you're so blessed for being created by the Creator. And are you creating the day you want? Are you minding your own business? Are you actually putting a little mini you on your shoulder to find out that you are the true terrorist on what you think, drink, and eat? That would be a really good start, okay? And I mean nothing bad about that. Vibrations got a lot worse since then. We have a Guardian and Tesla glasses. We've checked out electrical outlets. Okay, the reality is you better take a look at the water. Are you drinking structured water? Are you doing the perfect day diet? Are you doing intermittent fasting till 11 or 12 o'clock? Are you taking one day a week where you're just going to do advanced water fasting, and then maybe every 6 weeks to 2 months doing a 6-day or longer advanced water fast, so that you can go in and shut your digestive tract down to take all of that energy to go in and heal what's wrong? Let me tell you, today, if you're not doing intermittent fasting, if you're not doing the perfect day diet, if you're not doing one day a week where you're going to do a water fast, and then maybe every 2 months do a 6-day water fast, good luck with that. Okay, take a look at me, and then you tell me that I'm losing it. I'm not losing it. I'm getting more and more because I'm understanding this. Understand something. I've said this before because I just got over the fasting thing, but I just want to say this. Jesus did not fast because he needed to detoxify. He didn't fast for 40 days because he needed to detoxify. Jesus fasted for 40 days to bring up his vibration so he could open up his super consciousness, because he knew he was a light energy electrical being that wanted to talk to the greatest light energy electrical being, that being our Creator. So understand something. If you don't bring your vibration up, you're never going to be able to tap in to the right frequencies that actually give you the answers you want or the vibration you need to heal on a cellular level. Peter?
Well, we are pretty much water people. I mean, we're somewhere around 75% water. And by drinking water that has surface tension, that, we reduce the surface tension, the weight, make the water molecules smaller so they can pass into the cells to take waste away from the cells and carry nutrients in. Water hydrate the body, and that comes back to the lady and her skin. The more water we can get up closer to the skin itself, the healthier the skin. So number one, healthy water, and you could use a jug of water and you could actually set the jug of water beside the protector, and it would fill that water with oxygen and reduce the surface tension, and that would be a place to start on normalizing the healing within your body. It's probably one of the most important nutrients that we are neglecting, because too many people are drinking pop, Coke, and Pepsi and all that kind of stuff.
And Costco bottled water that's carcinogenic. Look at me, honey. I just brought home 2 cases of this flexible plastic water that when you drink it, you can taste the plastic, which means that I'm allowing my family to drink carcinogens. Okay, yeah. So Janelle, how long do the crystals hold the frequency? I guess can't quite wrap my head around an unlimited supply of frequencies, so please explain.
Well, it's simple. We program these crystals initially, and then when we ship them, they're attached. The energy is attached to our base, so that crystal can go anywhere on the planet, and it could be communicating. Our technology will be going to that crystal on a constant basis. Heck, you could be on an airplane and it would still be getting the upgrade, and there's nowhere on the planet it couldn't get it. So it's a technology that we have refined. Again, the traditional radionics is done through a copper plate and wired to the machine. We're now using the crystal, the Guardian or the Defender, and we put that on each machine, and they're broadcasting all the frequencies into one area. So it's going out to every piece of glass that leave our building. So I know, the Earth has a huge electromagnetic field around it. We are just a reflection. We have a huge electromagnetic field around each of us. And we are part of this whole cosmos. And so energy just travels at way faster than the speed of light. From radionics can go. We've used it. We were hired by the Indian government to bring the typhoons back into India. That would be 10 or 15 years ago now. And we were able to normalize rain coming into India from our base here. So, there's we've grown crops in England, wheat crops in England by feeding them energies from here. So, but I've gotten away from that now because, as we perfect our technology and use the purest, this is the key. We have to have the purest crystal, the purest products, and we search and search and search, and everything we find, we test to see if it's conducive and beneficial. If it's not, it's discarded. We measure the vitality. This is light coming off we use plants and animals and people. So, well, it's been a life's journey for me to work on this, and I guess if you put it into that term, it's been my whole life's mission, is to get to where we are and go beyond. We're not stopping here. We're going to go beyond where we are now. We have to, because the world around us is also changing too much. Anyway,
Peter?
That's all I can say.
Thanks, man. Chantel, how does okay, first of all, she just wants to know, when she gets the bodyguard, does it matter what she puts on? A string, leather, silver, gold?
No.
Okay.
Well, not a cheap chain, because it'll go tarnish. You need something that's you can use a leather shoelace or anything like that silver chains are good. So yeah, gold and silver are good.
Okay, let me see if there's any more. This could this could be the reason as well of. Okay, wait. Could you please explain again the difference between the guardian and the defender? Sorry, you may have covered this already. Peter, please go ahead. I'm just going to show them. Everybody, here's the guardian. Okay. See the guardian?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The guardian is designed for.
And there's a defender,
crops
everybody.
and soil. So, well, they're good. They operate in the home because you got to bear in mind chlorophyll. That's the color green. That's what's in plants. It's the closest thing to human blood. So anything within the home and the garden will flourish. And of course, your wildlife will be attracted to your backyard because everything likes this calming, peaceful energy. The the Defender, which is a blue one, is designed more for big factories like manufacturing plants, hospitals, churches, schools, apartment buildings, office buildings, all those things where you have a lot of people and you can get a lot of oxygen within that environment because we test for oxygen and it can run anywhere from 10, around 8, 9, 10 parts per million. And where we put the Defender in, it can get as high as 35 parts per million. So it brings the oxygen level far higher. And oxygen is the key. Viruses cannot survive in a high oxygen. That's why when you go into hospital with a virus, the first thing they give you is oxygen. Well, this is the same oxygen that you would, it's in, only this is environmental oxygen, which is natural for your body and plants and animals. You know, we've done a lot of lakes and sewage treatment lagoons, cleaning them. And actually, we're using the Defender now in those areas where we can put oxygen at high levels deep in the ground, where in nature that doesn't happen. It's same as the soil. Top 12 inches is where the oxygen would be. Beyond that is very little. And the difference is oxygen is healthy, and then below that it's anaerobic, which is a fermenting, and we don't want our bodies to be fermenters, or it's not good for us. So putting the oxygen deeper in the ground, the roots get down deeper, your earthworms and bacteria and all the hundreds of different bacteria or bugs that are in the ground, including fungi that is important to the soil, just they do better, and you get better crops.
Peter, Brian George Woodbridge here. Does the protector in the home help someone I know that has been tested with the C thing and has been vaxxed?
Absolutely. That's a reason. We did the oxygen is a key, but the V word is something that we had to do. We had to put in these other frequencies for the thinning of the blood and the blood pressure and different things that can happen in the body. So anybody that's had the shot, this is going to be a beneficial thing to have in the house.
And if I can detract for a second, everyone, I just want to say this. Please do your own homework. But the people who have had the V, I just hope you know that all the airlines are coming together right now and they're discussing what they're going to do, because people with the V, they say that if you fly, you have a high risk of thrombosis, seizures, stroke, and heart attack. And right now they're talking about going to the government, who's going to be paying for all the lawsuits. So remember when they said if we didn't get the V, we wouldn't be able to fly? Well, guess those with the V are not going to be able to fly, and they're going to be risking their lives. And if you don't believe me, I think anybody that has any basic science or knowledge about health knows that if you're blood clotting on planet Earth and you go up 10,000, 20,000 feet in the air, what kind of blood clots do you think you're creating up there? And the other thing is this. Remember something regarding the V. that Red Cross does not ask anybody about their health condition. And if you've had the V, they're not asking anyone. So make sure that if you have a blood problem, that you find a blood bank that will take your own blood and store it. Because until we find out how to totally eradicate and make sure that we need to protect ourselves, don't we, Peter? What do you think?
Yeah, well, we do. And of course, there are elements that we forget about is if you're in an accident and you have a blood transfusion, where did that blood come from? And, even you enter a hotel and there's bed bugs, which I've been in hotels where they had bed bugs. And, if they take a bite out of somebody that's got a problem and then the next person go in and they can just pass it on. So, but no, I'm confident that we have done everything we can now to help people that have had the vaccine to live a normal life. That's the best way I shouldn't have said be, but anyway, it's the way we've worked our technology into the whole, and that's why we've been in the last little while coming up with a lot of different nutrients that can support the mitochondria and the DNA and the different aspects of health. What was good? Cells, everything involved in health is what we're working for.
Okay.
Anyway.
I've got about another half dozen questions, and then we probably wrap this up. We're almost on to 2 hours here. And you're just too popular, okay? All right? And I don't like it. All right? Okay, let me see here. So, Adrian, for a 2,000 square foot home, the Defender or the Guardian? No, it'd be the Protector, love.
Yeah.
Okay. Next one. Karen, I have a protector crystal for my home. Can I use a bodyguard for the car? Yeah, the bodyguard's with you all the time. You're in the car. The bodyguard's with you. Or should I purchase another protector crystal? No, you don't need it, love. Does she? Bodyguard's enough.
No,
right?
no. Yeah.
Yeah, and we paid the rent this month. If Peter said I paid the rent, we can't lie this show. Okay. All right. Okay, so here we go. I'm just going to do these last ones, Peter. Is there any way to measure the frequencies coming off the crystals?
Well, we have, we use, excuse me, I use dowsing rods. And if you have somebody holding the crystal and you get back and you come in with the dowsing rods, you can measure exactly where the energy field ends on that person. You can take the crystal, the bodyguard away, and then you'll find out the protection maybe come down to 2 feet away from the body, where when they got the crystal, it'll be out 30 feet to 40 feet.
And everybody understands something. Dowsing is a science. It's not voodoo. And do you remember the guy who would have like the stick and he'd be walking around and he would find water? It's not voodoo. So everybody please stay open-minded for pity's sakes, okay? All right. So that is why this is Nadia. So that is why my eyes and brain feel wobbly after I am on the computer. No, they're not wobbly. Blue light was actually created to destroy our brains. They could have created every phone, every TV, every computer, and all the LED lighting to have beautiful frequencies coming out and beautiful light that heals us. So you need to get it. There's a new game in town called You Better Mind Your Business. And you better not listen to corporations or any systems out there that they say that there are there to protect you. And I'm not paranoid schizophrenic. I don't walk around, oh my God. Okay, do I? Do I walk around like that? But guess what? I'm not stupid either. And I know that I cannot trust a corporation because it's not a living, breathing human being that has any emotion except a bottom line. Okay, I do know, Cindy, I do know fungi can cause all those eye conditions, and antifungal diet and herbs can help. I'm near blinded. Okay, I'm not sure what she's, okay. Why do you wear the different colored pendants, Dr. Wolfe? Okay, I'll tell you why. You want to know why? I put this red one on because, believe it or not, sometimes I'm a bit of a dizzy guy running around here, and I lost my purple one, and guess what? It just showed up today. There it is. So now I'm going to put the purple one back on. So for any reason, that's it. Okay? All right? Oh, you know, because I wanted it to match my shirt. No, because I misplaced it. Okay? It was stuck between the bed and the backboard. Because you know what I do, guys? I use my crystal and I douse. I know. Okay, I go by my gut with everything in life. And then I go by my crystal. And if you know how to douse, which is the same thing that we're just talking about dowsing, and you douse with your crystal and you get good at it, you wait until you see. If you go in and ask a question with an open mind and an open heart, and you're not going in to get the answer you want, you'll get the answer you need. All right. What's the link for the necklaces? Well, it's EMF / Energy Med. Can you put that up?
Yep.
And all you got to do is go to store.doc of detox. And also, I'll just throw this in too. Just know that we also have the phone guards on sale if anybody wants to take a look at those. Peter, can you develop something that helps people that have had the jab? He already has. He's already done it.
Yeah, he's done.
Yeah. My eyes are thanking you forever and ever. There you go, Peter. Mary's thanking you forever and ever with her eyes. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Did she just say she was flirting with you? No, I'm kidding. Okay. We had Bodyguard and the Protector. Is there somewhere here that lists what's inside them? I'm just super curious. Do you want to put a list together, Peter, of the different things that are in it? And I'll put it up on the website.
Well, it would be 2,000 words long. I don't think people could spend that much time reading it.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Okay. I'm trying to get them all done here. I just don't want to cut anybody off. Okay, we have the Bodyguards and the Protector. Is there somewhere that lists what? Okay. I am just super... we also have the Tesla glasses. Yeah. Okay, everybody. And this is not about Tesla glasses. I'll be coming on here doing a show with one of the scientists from Tesla Lightwear in Switzerland in the next 2 or 3 weeks. But I'll tell you, there are no glasses like this. These are fluorine lenses developed by Tesla, and it doesn't block. It takes the negative light, and it takes any 5G that hits the eyes or any radio frequencies that are negative, and it actually turns it into healing frequencies, and you can actually reverse eye problems and brain problems by using these. And now we've taken something negative, made it positive and healing. Go figure. It's the only glasses in the world that do it. I'm supposed to go, Debbie, I'm supposed to go up for hip surgery. Is it safe for me with my new hip? Of course, eh, Peter? The crystals do not. The crystals enhance. They don't do anything except enhancement.
No.
And guess what? Everybody out there, I'll give you a money back guarantee that you're not going to go for hip surgery if you were to bring down the inflammation, and if you would allow us to go in and pull the scar tissue formation apart, get the calcium back into the bones, because you could be bone on bone, but it's not. It's calcified, your tissue. And if they tell you only have 10% of your cartilage left, guess what? It grows back. Surgeons do surgery. Dr. Wolfe does restore and repair. The human body will heal. Okay? God has already given you that power to heal. But you know what? If you don't take massive personal action or believe in yourself, then I guess you're going under the knife.
Can I intercede there, Daryl?
Yeah, go ahead, my friend.
My wife, Nancy, when we met, she was due to have both knees replaced. And when we met, we got her a pendant, we got her on supplements, and the knees are back pretty. They're not perfect, but she's running around absolutely trouble-free.
Well,
so you can replace, you can repair, but it requires, supplements like collagen and other elements, vitamins and minerals.
Curcumin, cayenne, fiber clear,
yeah.
things that are going to remember something. You got to remember something. This would be like a beautiful tissue that's healthy. It's getting blood flow, lymph flow, energy flow between the fibers. This was Nancy's tissue. It got stuck together and then it started to shrink. So understand, inflammation and infection dehydrates the tissue. Did you ever eat beef jerky? Well, that's what Nancy's knees are like. So now she got more hydration in, she got more nutrient in, she got more frequency in that actually turned the scar tissue back into connective tissue. And if you and Nancy, if we ever get together in the next little while, then I'll tell you, I'll spend 10 minutes on both knees, and Nancy's knees will be 95 to 100% in 10 minutes. Because everybody, you got to get this. Do you know why you're going to surgery? For them to cut out the scar tissue. And did you know something? It's all about energy. Once you increase the blood flow, the lymph flow, and the energy flow, which is invisible in the body, guess what? The scar tissue turns right back into connective tissue like this before your eyes. You give me a person that comes in limping and they're not going to. I give a money back guarantee on all my consults and all my body work that you're not going to go to surgery. So that's that. Okay? And you know what? That might be really cocky of me, but the reality is somebody better be speaking up, because guess what? Medicine, or otherwise the medical system, are meant for emergencies care. They're not meant for health care. All right? Explain how the crystal gets new energy. Well, how does it get new energy? Because Peter puts it in. We explained it probably twice already, didn't we, Peter?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. They went. No, let me just see, Peter. Love, my bodyguard and protector. They are amazing. My plants are doing fantastic. Blossoms. More blossoms than in many years. Note, I did drop the bodyguard, chipped the bottom, still smooth, beautiful and calming. Thank you. I am balanced. Just ordered my girl and the pendant. Okay. Or ordered his girl a pendant. I try to listen to you every day. Okay, that's for me. Try to listen to you every day. Keep me alive and give me hope and a reason to live. Without you, I probably wouldn't. Oh, you would, love. You know what? There's a Braveheart goddess inside of you, and you just got to find it. You just got to love, honor, and cherish yourself. And you've been taught to disrespect you and to respect toxic beliefs and toxic people that have been trying to tell you that you're unworthy. You're not. You have the power to heal, and you deserve everything. Okay? I think we're done, Peter.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, because guess what? It's got to be past lunch for you.
Well, no, I had mine before I started.
Sneaky little guy. All right. Well, everybody, I just want you to know that Peter will be back in 4 weeks. He'll be coming on as a regular every month, and I'll tell you why. Because we get questions, and every 4 weeks, if we don't do this, we can't answer them. And I'd rather have him answer them than me going on Facebook all the time and trying to pretend I'm him, okay? Because I'm not, okay? He's been doing this all his life, as you can tell. So we're going to talk to the master, okay? Not to the mister. All right? Peter, is there anything you'd like to leave people with?
No, I just wish that everybody can see an end to this lockdown and see positive life and positive health, and the kids back in school having fun and living like kids should be. We all have to be lifted up, spirit and faith and everything else, to become who we should be. That's all I can say.
Well, you know what? I'll tell you right now, Peter, thank you so much for that. And if I can say this, you parents, you need a good spanking. You're not awake. You're not protecting your children. You're not protecting the home. You're not protecting the cupboards. You're not protecting the fridge. And that's the majority of you. I'm not telling you all of you. And tell me you are. Tell me that you're a lean, keen, healthy machine, and that your kids have a smile on their face, and that you're smiling out throughout the day, and you're focused on only what you need And the passion, and you have passion, you have purpose, and you're minding your own business, which means you're protecting the home, protecting your family, and that's your only job. And your job is to put spirit back into your children, but you're not going to be able to do that until you have spirit, and that's called energy medicine. What do you think, Peter?
That's absolutely right. You have to start with yourself. Then you radiate the positivity and love and joy, and it becomes like it expands. And there was a word I was trying to grasp a hold of, but yeah, it spreads out in other people.
I think the word right now would be, it will be a pandemic of love. Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
Okay.
What do you think, Peter?
Good day. Thanks a lot.
Hey, listen, I love you, buddy. All my best to you and Nancy, okay?
Yeah, we're fine. Okay?
Thanks, sir.
Yeah.
Blessings. Bye. All right, everyone, I want to thank you for joining me. So tomorrow, what we're going to be doing is we're going to play something. You don't have to watch it, but we're going to play a whole bunch of questions, right?
Yeah.
Peter did about 2 months ago, and it's a Q&A, and there's a lot of questions that weren't on here, right? About farming and cattle and chickens and just lots of things. So we're going to play that tomorrow at 10 a.m. And then on, when are we doing the 8?
Well, we had A to Z at 10, but we'll run it at noon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll put Peter on at 10, and then I'm going to run my master class, which will show you that what you think creates your physical body. And trust me, this is science, hard science. So you are the creator of everything you have. How do you like it? Okay? But understand something. Somebody else is programming you, and you don't even know you're programmed, and I'm going to prove that on the A to Z show, which we'll run at noon tomorrow, and then we'll run it
10 a.m. every day after that.
10 a.m. every day after that for 3 days, right?
That's right.
And then we're going to be running How to Become Number One
How to Become Number One
at the Art of Number Two for 3 days at 10 a.m., right? We're going to be running these shows because I'm going to be going and doing an intensive training with a group of people, and but I'll still be doing my one-a-days. Just know this. You matter, your questions matter, and and everybody's been sending in messages to me because Sean's coming. We're going to still have a clinic here. We're going to still have the clinic here in Kelowna, but we're about 70-80% of the staff, right?
Yeah.
70% of the staff is going to leave. The 30% are going to stay here. And we're going down to Ixtapa, Mexico, where we're opening up the Ixtapa Palace World Healing and Training Center. And then we're going to have some of the really professional people coming to do courses on everything to do about energy medicine and physical healing and mental healing. And it's going to be, Ixtapa Palace has 220, they're not really rooms, they're more like little condos. And not condos, but they're bigger than a room. And it's a resort, and the resort was handed over to us by two people that own it, two brothers, because the grandfather was the main naturopathic doctor in Mexico that really started the naturopathic school down there. And what they want to do is they want to turn this into a mecca of healing. And the price is right. You're going to be able to come down. You're going to get fresh juices, fresh food. You're going to learn about how your mind creates everything. You're going to learn how to do Wolfe Non-Surgical. We've got 5 different personal treatment and trainings. One for couples, one that's called sports therapy, another one's called joint therapy, okay? Another one that's called emotional training, okay? And another one that's called the family PTT. And this is all about families coming down for 7 days and learning how to do Wolfe Non-Surgical so they can work on each other, so that they can learn to love themselves and each other better, okay? And learn how to feed each other and treat each other properly. And this is a course that we put together. And we also have another one called the Pain-Free Pregnancy. And it's actually, we start off and we've built a guide that's 1 year before you get pregnant. You can get pregnant anytime you want, but we start off back here for a year, because if the couple that were going to have the baby actually knew how to treat themselves and each other, how to feed themselves and each other, and how to work on each other with Wolfe Non-Surgical, she's going to have the perfect pregnancy. She's going to deliver the baby in a half an hour to 45 minutes. And he's going to know and get to understand her emotions, so that he doesn't say the wrong thing, she doesn't say the wrong thing. So when the baby's in the oven for loving, that the baby's not getting something else, okay? Because understand something, you know, we all come together because we need love and we want to create something beautiful like children. But the reality is we haven't been taught to totally love and honor ourselves before we get into a relationship. And that's why we're always crashing. And people will still be arguing about the same things 30 and 40 years later if they're still together. Okay, so this is what it's all about. We want to bring this up to a higher level. We have people right now that are signing up to come down there for a year because they're going, where else should I be? It's cheaper to be down there, and we can learn from you, and we can live down there, and that's right. And then I'm going to have a course too. We have a course going on September the 11th, and it's a 28-day course. You can come for the 22 days because we have 8 days of the Whole Life Coach, which is nutritional and emotional, and then a day off, and then it's 11 days of the Wolfe Non-Surgical, and then we have a Sunday off. But if you go to newworldpractitioner.com, www.newworldpractitioner.com if you want to find out about it. But what we do after the 22 days is we take Sunday off, and then we're going to go to the island. We're going to celebrate, and there's an island just only 15 minutes away. And the best snorkeling you've ever seen. They've got these really cute little deer that run around the island. and then we're going to come back. And then I want people after the 22 days, they'll meet with me from 9 until 11 o'clock, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and Friday. And they'll meet me from 7 until 9 at night, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Why would they do that? Well, after this training, we're going to come together and we're going to meet on a personal level. In the morning, we could be in the pool, just chatting, sitting back, drinking our carrot juice, drinking our our carrot juice, or drinking or eating apples or eating watermelon and just chatting about how we want to set up our business. What are the obstacles in the business? Making sure that people don't waste money when they become practitioners. And understand, if you've been a practitioner for even 30 years, 40 years, we're going to knock your socks off. And if you've always wanted to be a practitioner and you were told you had to spend tens of thousands of dollars and you had to go to school for years, I call BS. Okay? I'm telling you that when somebody takes my course, I tell them, you know, even if you just come for the 22 days, if you do your homework, you do your studying, you do this with purpose and passion, you'll be the best practitioner within 200 miles around your place. Okay? And I know that's a big statement, but I live it. Okay? So now the other thing we're going to be doing is next year we're going to have what's called the 90-day training, where when people come, they can take our training once and we'll help them set up. We'll even build their website for cost. We're not making this up. But if you do something 3 times, that's called repetition is the mastery on this planet. So we actually have a course that's going to be 90 days where you can come down and take the training 3 times, but you'll also be working on patience, and you'll also be coming to all the other different courses that are going to be going on by other doctors and professors and just people who have been in the health business that have something to offer. Yeah, and you'll be able to participate in all that as well. So what do you think you would be like by the time you went home? And what if I told you that all of that training is going to be less than $20,000? That's right. Okay? So anyways, I just want you to know that our hearts are in the right place. We're trying to make a difference just like you are. And the reality is what they've done to us is they said, here, go tighten that screw with this hammer. No, I don't think so. Listen, Bravehearts, you can do this. What have you always wanted to do? What's your passion? What's your purpose? Mind your own business. Do not listen to Fauci or Soros or Bill Gates. Ignore them. That's what you do with bullies. You ignore them. Focus on what you want in your life, and you'll find out how your health changes on an emotional, physical, mental level. God bless. Take care. It's your life. Live it. Good day, I'm Dr. Darryl Wolfe. Do you know why you or your friends or your family are struggling with their health? Well, because they've never been given a strategy. And every time they go to see a health practitioner, whether it's medical or natural, all they're doing is getting Band-Aids. What if we were able to create a strategy that you could create the perfect day from the minute you woke up until you went to bed, and then we continue to guide and support you along your journey as you grow, your program grows. And what if you only paid one price, and you had unlimited support and guidance for the rest of your life. That's called the Perfect Day Consultation. So what is the New World Practitioner Certification? Well, it's made up of 21 days. And understand something, it's made up of the Whole Life Coach certification. And understand, we go deeper in that 8 days than anybody else goes when it comes to learning how the invisible creates the physical, the psychological creates the biological. And we teach you about energy medicine and about vibration and frequency, because that's all it is. And that's the most important fact. And then when it comes to the Wolfe Non-Surgical certification, nobody can pull fibroids apart or reverse joint, muscle, tendon, ligament problems or scar tissue from surgery quicker than we can. And we offer a money-back guarantee to all our patients. Now, why would we do that? Because we pull off the I am possible and we reverse the irreversible. Check us out.